Good morning, YouTube. It's 9:46 a.m. Thursday, January 13th, 2022. Yeah, another exciting day. It's nice out today. A little chillier than it has been, but still nice. Oh gosh, what was I going to say? I had, every time I hit record, I always have something I'm thinking of, and somewhere between, like, okay, I should say what the date and time is, so I have some idea when this is recorded. Sometimes it just all goes out right out my mind. So yeah, just heading out. Yeah, yesterday kind of a fail on several levels. Mostly I just spent my entire day traveling to the Finish Line bar, hoping to recover a bag that I left there the day before when I got stranded. And just Tuesday night I got stranded there. Had a bus, not the last bus that would get me home, ended up not to be running. Shows on the schedule, but doesn't show up. There's a lot of that happening these days. But yeah, that particular bus, it left me stranded there. I've mentioned it numerous times in pretty much every video since. But anyway, I'd been there for a while. Mostly went to see what the Tuesday karaoke was like. And it was... I had a good time, but oh my gosh, the sound was awful. Like on a 1 to 10 scale of sound quality, giving it a 3 is nice. Just the music sounded really, really muddy and flat. I could tell the host was trying to put vocal effects on the mics, but for the most part, just seemed to make people sound unnatural and worse than just a simple dry mic would have sounded, which is not the point of effects. The host was really nice. I can't say anything, negative about her. She's absolutely a sweetheart. But running sound is clearly not one of her bigger skills, for sure. Anyway, I was there for quite a while. I was probably there drinking for about an hour and a half, maybe closer to hour and 45 minutes before karaoke started. Actually, I should say before karaoke was supposed to start. Karaoke actually started about, I want to say 20, 30 minutes late, which seems to be a common thing with karaoke shows. Now, I don't know why. Maybe that's what the bar wants. I've had shows of mine which start late. In fact, I had one, I don't think it was last Thursday, but the Thursday before. Actually, it might have been last Thursday. I started about an hour and 20 minutes late. And it's not that I wanted to start an hour and 20 minutes late. It was just a matter of I had no people that were there that were regular singers and that approached me about singing. And there was a fair amount of people in the bar. It wasn't busy, but there were definitely people there. And there was a lot of songs queued up on the jukebox. One nice thing about many nice things about Touch Tunes jukeboxes, but one of the things that I really like as a DJ at a place that uses a Touch Tunes jukebox is that I can look at the app and see how many songs are coming up and what those songs are. So I can queue up my first song to be something that kind of matches the vibe of what's already playing in the bar, and also have an idea of like when it's going to stop. So if it's just going to stop on its own because all the credits people put in and songs ran out, I can just be ready for my first song to just start, boom, right after it, to where it just is a smooth transition. People don't even realize that there's been a change of music, because my song just does a smooth segue out of the last song on the jukebox. Anyway, I can't recall if it was last week, week ago, because this Thursday again, I do have Bullocks tonight, whether it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but I remember that I had it was just nobody waiting to sing, and just a lot of songs queued up on the jukebox, and people, and rightfully so, people tend to get upset when they pay for songs on the jukebox and then the jukebox gets turned off and they don't get to hear them, which makes me wonder why TouchTunes, since TouchTunes jukeboxes operate in a lot of bars that do shut off the jukebox or pause the jukebox for promotional vehicle for 101.1 bounce. Nifty. It's a local station. That's, if you listen to a lot of my videos, watch my vlogs from back before before the dark ages, over 3.5 months ago, when I had a car, God, going on 4 months now, when I drove my car, yeah, I had that station on in the background a lot. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, with so many bars that use the TouchTunes jukebox that will stop it or pause it, because it's closing time. Obviously it has to be shut down at 2 in the morning, or because there's a major sporting event that they want to stop the jukebox for and crank up the sound of the game. All right, we got more fucking corporate landlords taking over Phoenix. Fucking fabulous. All right. Oh, wow. Now is this corporate, but I think this is the one I was going to move into. I'm thinking this is the one that I was going to move into when I ended up moving into the one. I'm almost worried about money. That's the unit that I was going to move into when they ended up telling me they wouldn't take my rental assistance, and I moved into the one I'm in. Well, good thing I'm in the one I'm in, because I got a feeling that corporate landlord would have long ago priced me out or declined to take my rental assistance. And then when I lost my rental assistance, certainly wouldn't have been willing to keep me as a tenant. So I should be thankful for small miracles. Anyway, with TouchTunes jukeboxes, yeah, so it's not unusual for them to get shut off for games, for karaoke, for DJs, for bands, and also for like live trivia shows. And which makes me really wonder why there's not any functionality of it, since those things are generally on a schedule. It's known the game is going to start at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. It's known karaoke is going to start at 9 o'clock. Band is going to start at 9 o'clock. Trivia is going to start at 8 o'clock, what have you. Bar is going to close at 2 o'clock. I find it really weird that the TouchTunes jukeboxes don't have a functionality to them. I mean, anytime it's a streaming platform. Anytime you're queuing up songs to play in a streaming setup, you're going to have a playlist that's adding up how much time that streaming is going to take. And I mean, shoot, even for me playing local files on Winamp, every time I drag another song to my Winamp playlist, there's a small indicator that shows how many minutes and seconds I've added to the total playlist and how many minutes and seconds until that song runs out. And it would seem to me that TouchTunes could really easily implement a thing where bartenders can log in, or bar owners can log in, managers, what have you, and put in what time events are scheduled that are going to shut down the jukebox. And then simply have the jukebox, when people have put in and paid for songs, that run it up to the time where it's going to be shut down, and the time where the jukebox is going to be shut down, and there's not going to be any more, there's not time for any more songs before the time it's supposed to get shut down, to simply be programmed, because I mean, TouchTunes jukeboxes are computers, to simply be programmed to display a message, saying, that, hey, I can't take any more songs. Just simply display an event, a thing that says karaoke starts at 9 p.m. There is no longer any time for any more songs. Thanks for choosing Touch Tunes. Something. It just blows my mind that it doesn't. It seems super greedy to me that it doesn't, that it will keep taking people's money when there's a good chance that those people are not going to receive what they paid for with that money. So, will I ever get around to writing an email to Touch Tunes about it? Probably never. If I did, would they do anything about it and even read it or pay attention to it? Yeah, probably not. All right, so it's 9:57 a.m. Shows my next bus at this stop being at 10:11 a.m. So that's about 15 minutes. Yeah, let me see if I get something quicker if I walk up to the next stop. Because the next stop is service considerably more than this one. And it shows the 29 is at the next stop. If I walk to the next stop, I'm probably going to show up there just in time to see the 29 pull away. You can see it. Can you see that? Probably not. I'll probably get there in time to see the 29 pulling away, but I'm going to go ahead and walk that way anyway, since I definitely have the time. Oh, look, that building's being knocked down. Tells me somebody doing something with that property. Yep, new retail coming soon. Tenants needed. I forget what the name of the Mexican restaurant is that used to be in this spot, but I do recall very vividly one time I went there with Elise just to check it out. We were in this area, and oh my Lord, was it mediocre. Just, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't. If you're doing a sit-down Mexican food restaurant and your food isn't as good as the food on the value menu at Del Taco, you probably should just give it up in Phoenix, because Phoenix has a lot of really good Mexican food. Anyway, no surprise that place shut down within about 6 months of Elise and I going there, and that building has been sitting empty ever since. So it is nice to see something actually being done with it. Normally I'm bummed out when I see buildings being leveled in that manner, to the point where they're just, it looks to me like they're playing the whole game of leave up just enough of the structure that it legally qualifies as a remodel as opposed to a new structure, because the laws are different about that, and that's a loophole a lot of developers love to exploit here. Yeah, normally I'm bummed to see that, but to be honest, that building was pretty crappy, so good riddance to that. And hopefully whatever they develop out of it, there's nothing in the way of evidence of the mess that it was before. And yep, that 29 has left, so I can see it I can see it gone on the app, and I can see it. Yeah, I don't see the bus in front of me. It's very difficult to scroll the map on my NUU Obama phone. The screen on that is just pathetic. But yeah, the 29 up at 44th Street is gone, so that's fine. I don't mind making this walk when I absolutely don't have to, and it's nice out, and hopefully there's not a lot of junkies loitering at this bus stop, as I see there is at the bus stop across the street. Well, I don't know if the guy's a junkie, but that does not look like somebody waiting for a bus. Looks like somebody's sleeping on the bus bench with a bunch of crap taking up space that should be available for those who are waiting for the bus to sit down and wait at. All right, so it's what time is this? 10:01. I think I said the bus is going to come at like 10:11, so at this stop more like 10:12. I should get to the LifeWell Clinic in time. I'm supposed to be there at 11 o'clock for orientation and intake or something, whatever it's called, for the vocational rehabilitation program. Now, granted, if this job works out for me at Amazon, which it looks like it's going to. I got an email yesterday telling me I just need to complete certain steps. Of course, the email went to my ONN Obama phone, which does not, or NUU. I don't know why I always want to say ONN. NUU. U's and N's look the same to me. I've got a kind of dyslexia that will often flip characters right side up and upside down. And the ONN logo used by Walmart on their products is in a similar font to the ONN logo, or to the NUU logo on my phone. That's finally figured out why I get that confused all the time. Anyway, yeah, the NUU. Show you the logo. It's just lovely. There it is. NUU. Focus. There we go. NUU. Yeah, they don't have a flagship phone. They just have that piece of shit, as far as I know. Which, as you see, the screen has even more cracks in it than it had. Is instead of being a solid piece of tempered glass, it is really thin, weak shit. And kicking myself in the ass, I didn't get a screen protector for it while away. At this point, I don't even know if I can get replacement glass for it, but I'm not even really looking to do that. I'm just looking to have that device out of my life soon. I did order a SIM card from Mint Mobile to get service back here in my iPhone. But I don't know. For all I know, it could be sitting in my mailbox. I haven't got an email, or I don't think I've received an email from Mint Mobile telling me it's been delivered yet. But I haven't checked my mailbox since I've ordered it either. And yeah, it seems like it's been about the amount of time it should show up. But at any rate, I didn't have time to deal with that shit today, so that'll be something I deal with. I'll probably check that out tomorrow before I head back out for bullocks and whatever other adventures await me tomorrow. So today, yeah, I'm headed over to the vocational rehabilitation. I figure if nothing else, my job. Adam said he would be at this today, although I don't think it's really his deal. I think there's somebody else that does this program. He's just there because he has clients, including myself, that are going to be there. It could just be me, for all I know. But at any rate, Adam's going to be there. I'm just hoping, if nothing else, this will help me out with. He did say that there are training programs like that I could potentially like get a forklift training and certification through this program. Now, the job that I've been offered at Amazon is supposed to give me that, but it's not a guaranteed thing. So, if I can get that sooner through this program, it seems like it's worth my while. Also, I'm hoping, maybe it'll provide me with an additional bus pass. That would be really helpful. And the other thing that I'm thinking that it could potentially help me out with, I lost my birth certificate when I left my stuff at the bar. I got stranded. It was just such a hasty thing when the other people called a lift for me that I wasn't thinking about the bag. It didn't even occur to me until I got about, I would say, 3/4 of the way home in a lift that cost that couple over $30. It wasn't until I got about 3/4 of the way home that I realized I didn't have my bag with me. Couldn't call the bar to let them know about it because that particular bar doesn't have a phone number. I don't have Sean's phone number, his girlfriend's phone number, so I couldn't call them. And the people that I met that night, I gave them my number. I didn't take theirs down. Kind of an idiot move on my part. So yeah, I had no way of contacting anybody and let them know. And since they had prepaid, since they had paid for my ride, and it wasn't me paying for the ride, I wasn't really at liberty to just say, hey, turn around and go back. Obviously, if I was driving, I would have turned around and went back because that's some pretty important shit that I had. in that bag. But c'est la vie. I'm crossing my fingers that it might turn up, because the barback did say that he had put it in the. He did say he had put it in. That he saw it at the end of the night, and he put it in the office. So I'm hoping that maybe somebody saw it in the office and just moved it. But I'm thinking more likely than not, somebody looked at it and was like, "Oh, this is trash," and just threw it in the garbage without bothering to really go through the contents. And I could also see somebody look at that and going, "Oh, what have we in here? Oh, let's see, bag of pretzels. Those are delicious. I'll take those. Oh, look, a really fancy metallic pink battery pack. Well, that's handy. Throw that in the pocket. And and there's a used manila padded envelope. Well, that looks like garbage. Yeah, everything else in here is garbage." And proceeded to throw away my birth certificate, my certified birth certificate, as well as my proof of insurance and registration for my Saturn. Yeah, I don't know. It could come back, but at this point, I just need to kind of proceed as if it's lost. So anyway, I'm hoping, since that's definitely like part of work rehabilitation. I mean, that's one thing. There's so many videos of like homeless people in Phoenix and other cities, and the comments under them tend to be so callous. And granted, I say some pretty derogatory things about homeless people, but I'm here amongst them, here walking amongst them. So I mean, when I walk up on somebody and they're sitting at the bus stop with a bunch of garbage, sleeping at the bus stop and smoking fentanyl, like, yeah, I'm just reporting the facts that are in front of me that y'all can see. But a lot of people will be really callous and be like, well, these people just need to go get a job. You know, when you're down that far, it's simply not that easy. And if that person has lost their birth certificate, it's next to impossible for them to get the job. And when you're homeless, it's difficult to hang on to documents like that and keep them in decent shape. So it definitely, I feel that. I do wish that things weren't that. I wish that wasn't such a requirement for starting a new job, to be honest. I mean, maybe for getting paid, but it would seem that there should be a procedure for somebody who has lost their ID, lost their birth certificate, lost their I-9 documentation to work, and not necessarily get paychecks, but at least work towards getting those documents, where basically their employer or God forbid, maybe even the IRS holds on to their they went another 44. That was like 2 southbound 44s in a row, unless the first one was a not in service. Anyway, there should be some way where they can basically, where that money gets held, and goes directly to whatever government agency handles getting those documents replaced for that person. And if it turns out that person is ineligible to work in the United States, you know, due to citizenship status. I mean, I can't think of any other reason somebody would be ineligible to work in the United States. In that situation, then that money should just simply be forfeited, or I don't know. It should go somewhere. Probably not to that person, because at that point they've signed documents. They will have signed documents that said, hey, I'm eligible to work in this country. I just don't have. I'm in a bad way right now, and I don't have the means to get the papers that I need. So I'd like to work here so I can get those means. But signing the document that I'm eligible to get I am a natural born U.S. citizen. There is a government agency in X, in one of these 50 states or one of these U.S. territories that can issue me a birth certificate, or that can issue a driver's license. And for that matter, since everything is so fucking digital right now, seriously, why do people need to carry this stuff on them anyway? Why do they need to have an original Social Security card? An original Social Security card really doesn't show shit, you know? Why do they need to have a document? Documents are so easily forged anyway. I mean, hey, have you seen Obama's birth certificate? Yeah, not even going down that road, just throwing it out there. But yeah, documents are so easily forged anyway. Why are we still using such an antiquated system to prove eligibility for employment? Why not just give up the information when you apply for a job, and then your employer, as part of your employment process, you know, goes to the state database, the state, you know, DMV, or the state recorder's office, or the Social Security Administration, with your information that you provide them to verify. Oh, yep, this person is who they says they are. Look, here's a physical description. Here's a picture. Yep, that's the guy that we just interviewed. Good to go. Like, seriously, this antiquated necessity of having to have a birth certificate on you, and there's a not in service bus, of having to have a birth certificate on you is to get employment is certainly something that makes life difficult for people that are transient, or people like myself that just simply don't have a vehicle to keep that document in safekeeping in while they're going to and from job interviews. All right, I've been rolling video now for 26 minutes. That bus was supposed to be here at 10:11.